Hey guys, look here. I would like to do a quick overview on my newest acquisition. I've actually had it for about 4 weeks now, but I thought I'd just give my thoughts on it. It's the Todd Begg Mini Glimpse friction folder. This is actually sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. But yeah, this is actually my first experience of a knife of this level. Diving into the world of mid-techs and customs. I thought I may as well start off with a knife that I could use every day, not since it's UK legal. But yeah, I'll give you some quick specs on this real quick. Overall length, tip to butt, is a little over 7 inches. It's 7.15 inches, with a blade length of 3 inches, stock thickness of 4 millimeters, and a weight of 2.7 ounces. So it's a lightweight knife, it's usable for everyday tasks, and it's UK legal. I'll just give you some quick size comparisons here at the start, just so you can get a grasp for the size. Here's it compared to a Benchmade 527 Presidio Ultra, Mini Presidio Ultra, sorry. There you can see it's very similar overall compared to the Mini Presidio. This is a 3-inch blade and a small lightweight knife. So I'm comparing it to the Spyderco Delica 4. Again, line that up. And there you can see, again, very, very similar in overall length. It's very much with the trend of the regular 3-inch knives that are out there. It does fall in compliancy, really, if you can put it like that, with those knives. And for the UK market, something that's very popular here, the Bird Turn, completely different type of knife here, completely different level, but it's a lot bigger, as you can see there, than the Bird Turn. Both of these are actually UK legal, so if you're curious about that, it's a big part for me to actually have knives in the collection that I can use every day. Pity there's not as many nice ones out there that reach this sort of level, but at least I got this. So starting off with the blade, Todd uses Bowler N690 on these. I don't have much experience with the Bowler N690. I've got some experience on the N680 used by Benchmade and the N690CO used by Spyderco. I don't know the difference properly, but I think the difference between the Bowler N690 and the N690CO is something similar to the differences between CPM S30V and regular S30V, or 154cm and CPM 154. So I think it's that sort of world of, it's just more of a refined product overall. There you can see the finish used. Oh, this is a hollow ground blade, beautifully done, beautiful design, with a very beautiful aesthetic swedge, and there with the fuller, with the alternating sized holes. And it's something that Todd uses a lot on his knives, from the Tree Frog, which is a wee neck knife, up to the Bodega and the Bugatti, his higher end customs. It's just a very beautiful aesthetic feature to the knife. The dark stonewash used, it's very aesthetically pleasing for me personally, but as a usability factor, this knife will hide scratches and wear on the actual blade itself very well. The cutting edge, just real quick, it's a bit of a steeper, more abrupt edge. If I can get it to focus for you in a way that's useful. It's not just as lean as the likes of a Delica or whatever, or what you would have, but I think it's very durable. It's a very hard using edge, and just behind the edge there, it's not a very deep hollow ground. There's still a good bit of meat behind that edge, and there you can see his etching there for his maker's mark. Very nice maker's mark. I am a fan of how he does it. It's a very high quality etching there, so it is. Again, if you look at the Spyderco, depending on how the light hits it, I think it's a good one to see there. There's wee areas where it's not just as clearly defined, but you do get, if it'll focus, there we go. You do get a very high quality design there. Someone might complain about the edge not being sharpened all the way to the heel of the blade, but I can use this because of that, this area as a forward troil. I don't know if it was originally designed as that, personally, but because that area is not sharpened, it's been blocked off there, it actually allows me to be able to use that as a forward troil, which is very nice. It's very, very useful for everyday tasks. The general operation of this knife is very, very simple. A lot of people want to use this flipper as a flipper. You can see there, it works alright, but it's kind of an abrupt, aggressive sort of movement. By using the horn of the tine here, you can do it's more elegant, in my opinion. It takes a minute to adjust, but it doesn't seem to play a factor in everyday use. Because I've had this for a few weeks, I have carried this knife a lot. Actually, if you look in here, you can see fluff and silly stuff all gathering up there already. So sorry it's not in a pretty condition. But, you know, it's a knife to be used. All my knives in my collection get used every day. So if I don't use it, I don't keep it. That's my sort of trend of thought. The jimping up here, it's not super sharp or aggressive, so it doesn't tear up your thumb, and it'll definitely not tear up pockets with this protruding, but it is very beneficial whenever you're grasping the knife. It does actually benefit you with control, and then using that forward troil area, it's a very confident sort of grip, just for those sort of cutting tasks that you use that sort of grip. There you can see the pivot that they use. It's a very simple cone shaped design with a nice satin, like a circular sort of satin, which gives this really beautiful display whenever the light dances off it. But then the opposite side is a simple Torx, but again has that finish, which it does bring it to that level of knife where you appreciate that type of detail. As I said, this is Todd's friction folder, which means it doesn't lock, hence the reason it's UK legal. But through using the horn of the blade, well, the horn of the tine, which is up here in the spine, and the flipper, which actually acts as more of a lower guard, so you've got two securing points. You've got the horn, and then you've got the flipper, so you can lock it much more securely than what you would with most traditional friction folders, and it's very comfortable in hand. I have noticed that whenever you grasp it in more of a hammer grip, you do get a bit of play. You don't get that much security because there isn't a lot of the horn being secured. It's more in this fleshy bit of your hand, well, in my hand at least. But keep in mind, in those sort of hammer grips, you are putting a lot of force through the blade, so I can't see that being much of a problem. Just be very aware that not to pull up towards you very suddenly, because you might find the blade coming down on your hand like that. The G10, this is orange G10, as you can see. They do offer it in a few different patterns. They do a sunburst pattern, which has got lines running through it, like somewhat like a Japanese flag, like the rising sun flag that they have. but this is their diamond checked pattern. It's very reminiscent of, you know, the checkering you'd find on a really nice rifle, or like a traditional looking rifle or shotgun. It's a very fine but quality jimping. Well, texturing, sorry, not jimping. Again, not very abrasive, not anything like a cold steel or whatever. Not even as the same sort of level as a paramilitary 2, but it's a quality texture from quality materials, box in hand, and it's comfortable. Keep in mind, this is like an everyday knife for me. For a lot of people, this would be a backup knife, because they'd be carrying probably their full-size field-grade bodegas and any other EDC knife of that larger variety. But because of our stupid laws, let's be honest, like, they are silly laws, but it is the law, so I have to follow it. So that makes this knife an everyday knife that gets used a lot. So it's comfortable in hand. It doesn't fatigue your hand during use, but there you can see the size in my hand. Again, I've got small hands, so remember that. But if you've got large hands, this might be a bit small for you. Actually, it would be small for you. Also, if you've got large, like, sausage fingers, you might struggle with this area to get a secure sort of grip in the forward choil. There you can see it's just G10, no liners, no nothing. It's a very simple, lightweight knife. Also, around the pivot, I honestly am not sure if it's got bearings. I can't see it having bearings, being a friction folder, but I don't know if it's nylon washers or Teflon washers, purely because the tolerances here are so tight. There's a wee glimmer on either side of the blade. That's actually the stop pin for both the open and closed positionings. As you can see, there is no stop pin into the G10. But this is actually a knife that you can still pick up. Yeah, I believe GP Knives still has these in stock. Not in this configuration, technically, because this is actually a one-off that they were playing about with. I got this direct from Todd Begg with the blue-purple anodized titanium backspacer. These normally come with a regular plain titanium finish with a blasted overall with them polished high points here on the texturing, but I was able to get this one with a wee bit of colour. You know me, I am a fan of getting a bit of colour in a knife, so having that wee bit of pop with a blue, I'm a big fan of orange and blue together, so it was very aesthetically pleasing for me. I do know that these were offered in carbon fibre and lightning strike carbon fibre. That was the model I was trying to get, but sadly they were all out of them. I have been looking about in the secondary market for one, so hopefully at some point I'll get to pick one up. But for now, this is a beautiful knife. It was a very nice entry into this level of knife. I can tell you one thing, it will not be my last mid-tech or custom, and it will certainly not be my last Todd Begg. Yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. It's a knife that I was excited to get. Whenever I ordered it, they actually threw in a t-shirt and a morale patch, which was cool. But they were a great company to work with, like to order through. Can't recommend them enough. If you're in the market for a friction folder or something that is UK legal for us over here in the UK, check it out. It's a really nice knife. But if you're just into collecting, just check out Todd's lineup, the Bodega, the Bugatti. But anyway, thanks for watching. Be safe, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.